Hello and welcome to this section where we are going to dive into the exciting world of Android app development. In this section, we will be building a weather app from the ground up. This is an excellent project to further enhance your Android development skills. We won't be covering the basics, as I assume you have already familiar with the Android development basics in the above sections. Okay, so instead we will jump right into building the weather app. Now let's start with discussing what we are going to achieve in this section. So in this first video is an introduction video to this app, which will break down the various screens and components of the weather app to give you a rough idea. So a weather app, as you know, typically consists of several key elements, such as the weather dashboard, which you could see over here. Okay, so here we have the wind speed, humidity, pressure, latitude, longitude, sunrise, sunset, everything we have. Also we have the location name, we have the temperature, we have sort of it tells us what type of weather there is. It tells us the date over there, maximum, minimum, sort of like these things are there. So if you just come to design, the design is something like this, and we are going to code it something like this. Okay, now if you just press this thing, see, it's popping up and it's saying enter a place which you want to search. So I'm gonna say suppose Mumbai, search it. Great. So Mumbai is 37 degrees, pretty hot over there. Smoke data is something like this. Then maximum, minimum, everything you're getting over here. Okay. Humidity, wind speed, sunrise, sunset, everything. Okay. So these things are basically fetching from the, we are fetching all the details from the API. So this is the mainstream, the main activity where users will get an overview of the current weather condition, including temperature, humidity, wind speed, and sort of like these things, latitude, longitude, sunset, sunrise. The next is this pop-up dialog in which you could choose the location uh, in which you want to basically search for. So by the end of this section, you will understand the structure and key component of a weather app, be able to identify the essential screens that make up a weather app, comprehend the user's flow and how users will navigate between screens, have a clear vision of what our weather project will look like. Okay. So with that in mind, let's get started. In the next video, we will start building our weather app project. We will design the user interface, implement data retrieval, and create user-friendly and futuristic weather application that you can be proud of. Stay tuned for the next video where we will roll up our sleeves and start turning this vision into reality. Thank you. Welcome back to our next lecture. So in this lecture, we will take a step-by-step approach to build the weather app. We will start with designing the user interface using XML in this video, and in this next video, we will dive into the coding with Java part to make our app fully functional. Today we will focus on the visual aspect of our app. We will create the layout, define the UI components, and set up the structure of the weather app using XML. So this is the foundation upon which we will build the functionality in the next video. We will design elements such as weather information display area, location section, temperature display, weather conditions, and much more. So what we are going to do is first we are going to make a new project. Select no activity over here, select next, select Java and say it as weather app. Once that is done, select it to Groovy DSL, have a look on everything. Okay, everything is nice, finish it up. Okay, so once everything is done, I think everything is set. What I'm gonna do is just bring it over here, select this. Okay, so this is the design which we are gonna go with. Okay, and we have to code this design in this lecture. So just come over here, and in Java I'm gonna say new activity, empty activity, main activity. Click on this, that is the launcher activity, and press finish. So now we don't have to add a launcher, already there is a launcher over here. Once that is done, everything is set. Now go to values, and we are gonna add the color over here. Okay, so different types of colors are there which we are gonna add. And so what we are gonna do, we are gonna say color purple, PURPLE. Come over here and select this purple. We are gonna use this one, this color. Then again do it like this. Then say I need a background. Come over here, select this, select and press this. This is the background color. Okay, and one more color I need, and that is purple light. Purple light. Press this thing. This color. Okay, these are the three colors which you're gonna use. Okay, now once that is done, I think everything is set. What you're gonna do is come to activity main over here, and you're gonna code it for that. Okay, you're gonna code it. So I'm gonna say add the background color to it. So background is background color. Okay, now I'm gonna add a card view over here. Card view. I'm gonna say match parent and height. Maybe I'm gonna explicitly tell this as 350 dp. Then I'm gonna say layout margin top as minus 30 dp. Then I'm gonna say card corner radius as 33 dp. So if you see, this is the card view which you are getting. Okay. Now what we are gonna do is we are gonna constrain this thing, but before that, let's click on this. Come over here. Constrain this. Constrain this. Constrain to right. So if you see, this is minus 30, so we are not seeing that curve over there. If I do it like as 0, I'm seeing that curve over there, right, in the top, but I don't need a curve. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say minus 30 dp, and I'm not able to see any curve over there. Great. Now once that is done, I'm gonna say again constraint layout. I'm gonna say match parent. I'm gonna say layout margin top as 30 dp. And a background I need to add over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a wallpaper. So this wallpaper I'm gonna add. Okay, this one. So just press on this 4x. I will provide all the files in the video lecture only. So just I'm gonna say name it as suppose wallpaper. Save it. Copy that wherever you have saved that file. I've copied it. Just press wallpaper.png. Done. I'm gonna say wallpaper. Okay. Once that is done, I think everything is set. Under this constraint, I'm gonna add a text view. Okay. So I'm gonna say text view wrap it. I'm gonna say margin start as 20 dp suppose. Then I'm gonna say margin top as 20 dp. Then font I need to add. So just press this text view, go to design, type font family. Ubuntu would be nice for me. I don't use any other font. Ubuntu Mono is also nice. Okay. Ubuntu regular I'm gonna use. Add font to project. Continue. Done. So Ubuntu is added. Great. Now I'm gonna say font family is added. Now I'm gonna say text. So I add a demo text such as Kharkiv, Ukraine, Ukraine, Kharkiv, Ukraine. Great. Next is the text color. Text color I'm gonna use black. So black is already there by default. So I'm gonna use that only. Okay. Now I'm gonna say text size as 22 sp. And I'm gonna say, and then I'll just constrain this thing. So just go to design, press top, press left, and add an ID to it. So I'm gonna say ID. I'm gonna say this is place name text view. Have a look on everything. I think everything is done. No problem with this, it seems to me. Okay. Now once that is done, I could add a margin also. So just come over here. I'm gonna say margin top as 20 dp and margin start as 20 dp. Great. Once that is done, have a look. Okay, nice. So this is white in color. Okay. So let's try to add white. Okay, great. Add 29 over here. Now it's good because if I was putting 30, you could see there is a white line over here. Okay, white space over here. Just add 29 over here. Everything will be sorted. Great. White seems to be a little bit good, so we are going to use white itself. Now, okay. Now we are going to add the state time over here. So just say text view. I'm going to say wrap it. Then I'm going to say margin start 20 dp. Then I'm going to say margin bottom as 20 dp. Then font family say Ubuntu. Then text would be, just come over here, copy this thing as for the demo, paste it over here. Once that is done, text color would be white. Text size would be 18 sp. Okay, just press this thing, bring it to bottom, bring it to left, add a margin of 20 dp, 20 dp, done. Have a look how it looks. Great. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this thing. Okay, so how to do it? So I'm gonna say text view. I'm gonna say wrap it, give an ID to this date one. So I'm gonna say ID date suppose and time text view. Okay, done. Now text, then I'm gonna say layout, sorry, font family would be Ubuntu itself. Then what else? Text would be suppose day 3 and night suppose -1. So this will tell us the temperature of basically day and night. Okay, so just copy this thing rather than typing it. I could just copy this thing, or what I could do is I could just copy this thing, and I'm gonna use max and minimum for this. Okay, I'm gonna say min and I'm gonna say max temperature and min temperature I'm gonna display. So if you see it's over here, great. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say text color, again white is better. Then text size would be 18 sp. I think everything is done. Let's give an ID to this thing. I'm gonna say min and max text view. Just click on this, drag it to the right, drag it to the bottom, go to design, give a margin of 20 dp suppose. I think everything would be nice. Okay, nice. Put n over here so that the line is changed. Okay, nice. Now once that is done, we are gonna go and now we are gonna go with this temperature one. Okay, so just copy this thing instead of doing every time. I'm just copying this thing, change the ID to temperature text view. Okay, press this thing, drag it over here and take this over here, left to left, go to design and cancel the right one so that it shifts over here. Okay, so what I could do is I could say give me a margin of 20 dp from here, and what I'm gonna do is few things I need to change over here, such as the text. Suppose I need as 3 degree, so remove this minimum. Okay, so I just want to show this degree over here, and text size suppose let's put 80 is nice. Okay, now once that is done, text color is white, everything is nice. Okay, seems good to me. Let's go to design and remove this bottom one for now. Now copy this again, come over here, and the next is the description text view, that is this one. Okay, so I'm gonna say description CRIPTI1 description text view, and description text view, just drag it, just hold this top to the bottom of 3, and for this I'm gonna say just reduce the text size, that will be enough. So I'm gonna say 18 SP is good, and just come over here, copy this thing and paste it over here and have a look. Now once that is done, press this thing, bring it bottom to the top of the date text view. What I could do is just remove this top one. Okay, instead of doing this, what we could do is just remove the bottom one, press this 3, just drag it over here. Great. I think now it looks good to me. I think 3 is a little bit bigger, but if suppose it's 23, let's see how it goes. Okay, the size of this is okay, no issues in that. Now once that is done, I'm gonna go with the weather name, that is this. Okay, so how the weather is, it will tell us that. Just copy this thing, or else just copy this thing, the last one over here, paste it, change the ID to weather name text view. Once that is done, drag it like this, remove the left one, and top also I don't need, I just need a bottom one, so just go for it, give a margin of suppose 20 dp, or else I could just align it with this. So just align the bottom of this to the bottom of this. Great, looks good to me. Just copy this text and come and paste it over here. Great. You could use text style as bold. Have a look how it looks. Okay, I'm gonna use this only text style bold. No issues in this. Okay. Now, for these 6 tabs, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a recycler view for this. Okay. So just come over here. You can manually also design for each one, but I'm gonna use a recycler view. I'm gonna say match parent. Then I'm gonna give an ID to it. ID would be suppose recycler view only. Recycler view, just click on this recycler view, press it, hold the top one to the bottom of this. Now just go to design, left, right, bottom. Just click on this, done. Just bottom to this. Great. Everything is done. I think I should add a margin also. So here I'm gonna say margin 5 dp, enough. Great. So I think everything is set. Feels good, feels right to me. Okay. Have a look on everything. Okay, one more thing is that we have not added a search icon over there. Okay, so we're gonna add a search icon. So over here only, just say image view. What to do? 24 dp would be nice, I think. 24 dp. Then I'm gonna say on click would be there because it's a button. So search places. Then I'm gonna say foreground, just to add a clickable effect. I'm gonna say select item background, and let's go to file, new, vector asset, click on this, type search, click on this, round I need, and what will be the color of this? Let's see what's the color of this. The color is white. Just click on this, select white. Once that is done, next I'm gonna say background, round search 24. Okay, that's it. Just give an ID to it. ID is actually not needed for this, but okay. I'm gonna say search image view. Click on this, to the right, click on the top, and the top of the place basically. Over here I'm gonna say just add 20 over here. That's it. I think everything looks nice now. Okay. So once that is done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create. So this UI part is done. Okay, and I'm gonna code for this one. That is this tab now. Okay, for the recycler view. Okay, so I'm just gonna come to layout. Just come to layout. Then in the layout, I'm gonna say new layout file. I'm gonna say attribute item. Attribute item. Okay. Okay. So we are gonna code for this layout. So this thing, what I was thinking is, let's divide the UI part into two parts because it's a little bit lengthier. So in the next episode, what we are going to do is we are going to design this attribute, okay, this thing, this item, and we are also design the alert dialog so that when we press this search button, an alert dialog will pop out in which we are going to enter the place name which we want to search. Okay, so these two items we are going to design. So we'll meet you in the next lecture. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to a new lecture in which we are going to design this item layout and also the alert dialog for the search. Okay, so what we are going to do is in the attribute item, I'm going to say, I'm going to put it as, I'm going to just change this to card view. Okay, and I'm going to say match parent, height should be wrap content. Then I'm going to say card background color would be purple light. Okay, and purple light is basically this color. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to suppose add layout card corner radius. We are going to add 16 dp and margin we are going to add of 10 dp suppose. Once that is done, now we are going to add the elements. I'm going to say linear layout, match parent wrap content. Match parent wrap content orientation would be horizontal. Padding I'm going to add 10 dp. Then okay. Now let's add a circular image view over here. Why circular image view? For this thing. Okay, but I don't need a circular image view for that. Okay, so before that let's take these images. So I'm just gonna say export, create a new folder, name it as weather app. Create it. I'm gonna create one more folder, name it as image assets. Create it, and I'm gonna save it over there. Click on it. Save all these 6 images. So we are done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just come to desktop, weather app, image assets. So this is for the wind speed. So I'm just naming it as wind speed. Copy this thing, come over here, paste it in drawables, wind speed, done. So I'm gonna say over here that image view, let's give 30 dp to this, 30 dp, and I'm gonna say margin 5 dp. I'm gonna give layout gravity would be center vertical, and src would be wind speed. Nice. Now once that is done, let's add one more linear layout for these two text views. So this linear layout would be mass parent and height would be wrap content. Then what else? Gravity layout would be center vertical. Padding would be different. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say padding left 8 dp. Then padding right, I'm gonna say 8 dp again. Then I'm gonna say padding top 5 dp, and then padding bottom would be 5 dp. Then orientation is vertical. That is because the two text views are basically vertical. So okay, over here I'm gonna add two text views. This text view would be wrap content, then layout gravity would be center vertical, font family would be open toe, text would be suppose wind speed, then margin bottom would be 2 dp, and text color would be black. Text size would be 12 sp. Let's give an ID to this. So ID would be text head. Copy this thing, paste it over here. Just remove this and say text value. Text style would be bold. And what else I could do over here? Just remove this bottom one and say layout top 2 dp. Text size is okay. Let's try to increase this to 14. Okay, now it's good. Have a look. Minor changes I've done. It's not an issue, I think, but just copy this text so that I could have a good reference how it will look. Okay, I think this is nice. No issues. Okay. Once that is done, have a look. Great. I think this is done. Now we are gonna go with creating a loading dialog. Okay, for the loading we are gonna create one layout also. So I'm just gonna say source, I'm gonna say dialog loading. Dialog loading over here. Now before that, let's go to the build Gradle and implement the Lottie animation file, because we're gonna use a Lottie animation over there for the dialog. Come over here and I'm gonna say implement. I'm gonna say com dot airbnb dot android dot lottie 3.7.0. Sync it. Okay, once that is done, a few things more I need to implement basically. Let's implement now only. I'm gonna say implementation. I'm gonna implement the runtime, that is the Android X library. Multidex, no multidex. I need a runtime. Okay, runtime. Change the version to no, not this one, because it's an arc. I need a work one. So I'm gonna say multidex Android X dot. Okay, let's type only, no issues. I'm gonna say work. This one I think runtime. Okay. Once that is done, I think everything is settled up. Let's sync now and let's see whether this works or not. Okay. Done. Let's come to dialog loading, and we are going to implement the Lottie animations over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say over here that layout height would be layout height is over here only, so I'm going to say 150 dB, and width would also be 150 dp. Nothing else I need. I'm just gonna go with the Lottie animation. I'm gonna say match parent, because I've already defined the dimensions, so it will not go out of that. I'm gonna say scale 1.2, scale y 1.2, and then I'm gonna say Lottie autoplay true, Lottie loop true. Speed I just want to be 1 only, so that's by default 1 only. Otherwise you could also define the speed, but I'm just gonna go with 1. You don't have to write this, but okay. Then comes the Lottie raw res file. So for this I need to go to the Lottie animations. So I'll say Lottie animations. Search over here, loading. Okay. I can use this one. Just press on this. Just go to edit colors. Come back to the file. Go to colors. This is my official color, that is purple. Come over here. Just change it to this. And the background, the second color, if you see, I'm gonna say purple light. Now it's good. Save it. Name it as loading anim. All these files I'm gonna provide it, so don't worry, in the resource section. Just download this file. So I've downloaded it. So just come to downloads, just copy this thing, come over here, go to res, go to new, go to Android resource directory, go to raw, okay, and just make sure that no capital letters are there. So I'm gonna say loading anim done. Come over here, say it as loading anim done. Once that is done, have a look if everything is okay or not. I think everything is fine. Okay, so this loading is also done. Make sure you constrain it. So the constraints are also done. Has to be parent. Okay, now we are gonna go with another one. So layout resource file, and this time I'm gonna say dialog search. Okay, so we are gonna code for the dialog search now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just come over here. I'm gonna say layout margin would be 20 dp. Okay, and let's give an ID to this. Layout dialog container. Now I'm gonna say card view, match parent, wrap content, foreground, selectable active background, and then I'm gonna say card corner radius as 5 dp. Okay, let's press this thing. Yeah, so constraint bottom to bottom of parent and to top of start end. Okay. Make sure the margin is 0. Margin bottom is 0. Okay. Now I'm gonna say linear layout. I'm gonna say match parent. I'm gonna say wrap. I'm gonna add a padding of 20 dp over here. And then I'm gonna say background. So I'm just gonna add a border over here. So just go to drawable resource. I'm gonna say border theme. So over here I'm gonna add a border theme over here for my alert dialog. So let's change it to shape. Corners radius 7 dp. Then solid color, white. Then stroke color would be purple. And okay, sorry, I'm not putting this. And I'm gonna say stroke width, or rather what I could do is I could just say like this. I could say width WID. It's not coming, I don't know why. That's okay. Width 2 dp. This looks nice to me, so I'm gonna say border theme. Okay. Now these things are done. Then just give an orientation to this linear layout, which is necessary. I'm gonna say vertical. Okay. Now just add elements now. Okay. So again, I'm gonna say constraint layout, match parent, wrap content. Then just give an ID to this. Name it as layout dialog. Once that is done, add an image view. This will be the cancel button. So width would be suppose 20 dp. 20 dp would be nice. 20 dp. 20 dp. Just go to file, new vector set, cancel, press this, go to round, and then what color we are going to use for this. Suppose purple we are going to use, so just come over here. Okay, just click on this box, or else what you do is just click on this box, click on this, copy this code, come over here, press this. Okay, done. Now what we are going to do is we are going to say background, brown, cancel 24. So this is the cancel button. Okay, just press this thing, drag it to right and top. Done. Now once that is done, I think just give an ID to this. Was cancel cancel image view. Okay, once that is done, I'm gonna say Lottie animation view. Just a normal animation view I'm gonna put over here. 80 dp. 80 dp. Now let's scale this thing to suppose scale 1.2, scale by 1.2, autoplay true, Lottie raw res. Let's find the another over here, so I'm gonna say just search. Okay. Searching this is nice. Let's download this. See, sorry, I pressed. Download Lottie JSON, download it. Copy this thing. Come to raw over here. I'm gonna say SEARC search nm. Once that is done, type it as search nm. Great, I think everything is done for this. No need for an ID or something like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say right to right, left to left, and top to top. Okay. Search anim. Okay, so why this is coming like this? We'll see afterwards. Okay, now we are gonna add a linear layout again. I'm gonna say match parent wrap content. I'm gonna say margin start 10 dp, margin start 10 dp, then margin top 10 dp, margin end also suppose 10 dp, and then gravity would be center, then orientation would be vertical. Just press this thing. Okay, let's over here, let's add one more thing. I'm gonna say layout constraint end to end of layout dialog, then I'm gonna say layout constraint start to start of layout dialog, and then I'm gonna say layout top to bottom of anim. Okay, I'm not given an ID to it, so let's give an ID. Name is anim. I'm gonna say anim, so it's bottom. Okay. Once that is done, under this linear layout, I'm gonna add a text input layout. So text input layout match wrap hint enter place name box background mode would be outline, padding let's give 5 dp, and box corner radius bottom start would be 5 dp. Similarly box radius bottom end would be again 5 dp, and ignore. Okay, no, this also ignore this thing with this thing. Now I'm gonna add text input, edit text. I'm gonna say match parent. And I'm gonna give an ID to this. I'm gonna say place name text. Not place name text. Another place edit text, and gravity would be suppose top, and input type would be text. Okay, so this is dialog, but one more thing we need to do, we need to add a button. Okay, so I'm going to say button. I'm going to say 150 dp and 50 dp. Okay, and I'm going to say text would be search, and layout gravity would be right, and background would be, I'm just gonna create one more drawable file. I'm gonna say over here next button. Okay, so in this next button I'm gonna basically draw the button design. So I'm gonna set the button shape, I'm gonna say corner, radius I'm gonna say 30 dp, then I'm gonna say solid color purple. Once that is done, just come over here and just add next button. Okay, now if you see this search is coming great. Now just click on this, just remove the scale X and Y. Let's see how it looks. Great, it looks nice. So okay, so next button is this, sort of look like this. Now what I want you is just go to themes, just go and type no action button, and change it to purple, and purple over here. Go to themes as well, purple, and no action button. And also I'm gonna create a style over here. So let's go to res over here, just type sty. So style files are basically, I'm creating this for st styls styles.xml for the alert dialog basically. Over here I'm gonna say style name of alert, alert dialog theme. I'm gonna say parent. I'm gonna say theme light dialog alert. I'm gonna say theme dot app compact dot light dialog alert. Item window animation style. Okay, it's not there. Window animation style. Delete Android. I'm gonna say style animation dot dialog. That's it. Just for this, I'm gonna do it. So come to dialog search. By the end of this video, we have a well-structured XML layout for our weather app, setting the stage for the next video where we will write the Java code to make it come to life. Building a weather app is not only a fantastic learning opportunity, but it's also a valuable addition to your Android development portfolio. Until next time, happy coding. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to our new lecture. So in this lecture, we are gonna create this layout, these 6 items basically. So for this, we are using the recycler view. So what I'm gonna do is over here, uh, new package, name the package as models, and under models, I'm gonna say a new Java class. Suppose name it as attribute models. Attribute models. Once that is done in attribute models, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add images. So these are the 6 images, right? So these images we are gonna add it in drawable. So these will be in the form of ID. So ID is always in the form of int. So I'm gonna say image ID. Then I'm gonna say private, maybe string head, comma value. So head and value are basically, head is the wind speed, humidity, pressure and all, and the value is this one, 24%, 17, 20 SPA, those things. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say command n construct select null. Then I'm gonna say command n construct select all these 3 things. Then I'm gonna create getters. So just come and say getters done. So the models are now ready. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create an adapter as well. Just go to package, create adapter, and over here I'm gonna name it as attribute adapter, attribute at attribute adapter. Now in this attribute adapter, I'm gonna say extend recycler view dot adapter attribute adapter dot view holder, which we are gonna make. So just as of now, view holder, just type it. Implement methods, do it. I think it's done. Now over here I'm gonna create a class called public view holder. Just copy this thing, paste it over here, extend. I'm gonna say recycler view dot view holder, and then just click on this. Super great. Now I'm gonna say over here, so come to attribute item over here, and this is an image view, right? So just copy this thing, come over here, just give an ID to that image view. So I'm gonna say ID would be image view, suppose, and text head, and here this is. So just copy this thing, come over here, paste it, done. Option enter input class. Now I'm gonna say text view, come to item, attribute item, copy this thing, paste it. Then what is text view? Now over here I'm gonna say image view is equals to item view dot find view by id dot id dot. Let's copy this thing, image view. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy text value, copy paste, done. Now when everything is done, I'm gonna say over here, just come over here, I'm gonna pass an array list of attribute model. That would be an array list, and the context I'm gonna pass context. Great. Now create a constructor for this. So constructor select both. Done. So this is basically done. Now come to on create over here. I'm gonna say view. Assign the view over here. So I'm gonna say layout inflator dot from context dot inflate r dot layout dot attribute item comma parent comma false. Now just pass this view instead say new view holder, and then now item count would be array list dot size, and over here I'm gonna assign the value. So I'm gonna say holder dot image view dot set image resource array list dot get position dot get image id. Once that is done, I'm gonna say holder dot text head dot set text array list dot get position dot get. Copy this thing, paste it over here, change it to text value, and change this to get value. Done. I think everything is set now. No errors are there. Okay. Now just go to main activity, and over here we are gonna initialize the instance of the class. Okay. So what we are gonna do is just, come over here. Instead first go copy this thing. This recycler view. Come over here. I'm gonna say recycler view. Then recycler view is equal to just cast it into recycler view. Find view by id r.id dot recycler view. Now once that is done, I'm gonna initialize the adapter. Okay, so over here only I'm gonna say attribute adapter, then attribute adapter is equals to new attribute adapter main activity dot this comma attribute. Okay, so I need to pass a list also. So array list, cast it into sorry, not casting, but the array list will be of attribute model. Attribute models, attribute model array list. Initialize it over here. Once that is done, pass this array list. Okay, so what's the error? Okay, so the first is the array list, then is the context. First pass the array list and then the context. Okay, so first the array list and then the context we are passing. Right. Now, once that is done, I'm gonna set the layout manager. So I'm gonna say recycler view dot set layout manager new grid layout manager this comma 2. Once that is done, because 2 columns are there, so 2, and then I'm gonna say recycler view dot set adapter attribute adapter done. I think everything is done. So over here I'm gonna say private void populate array list. We need to put the value to the array list. populate array list, and I'm gonna say attribute array list dot add new attribute models. So the first thing that we have to pass is a image view. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just copying some images. I'll just copy some images which I have already downloaded. Go to drawables, paste it. So I need to rename these things. So this is basically sunrise. Just rename it sunrise. Then what else? This is sunset. All these drawables files you will get in the resource section of the video. Then it's the humidity. Pressure. And lat long. Okay. Now once that is done, come over here. So what is the first element? First element is the wind speed. So I'm gonna say r dot drawable dot wind speed, which we have already put. Now I'm gonna basically pass the value that is wind speed, and the value would be, as of now I'm putting null because these values I'm gonna fetch from the API. Okay. Now the next is humidity. Third one is pressure. Let's see what else. Lat, sunrise, sunset. The next is the lat long. Next is sunrise, and then sunset. Okay. Changed the heading to humidity. Then it's the pressure. Then it's the lat long. And then sunrise and sunset. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call it over here. Done. I think everything looks good. Let's run the app and let's see whether this works or not. Okay, so I think it looks pretty nice. It's working basically. This is how we wanted the values. We are gonna fetch it from the APIs. Okay. So that's it for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are gonna go with the loading dialogs, and then we are gonna go with the weather models, water data we're gonna fetch, and things like that. Okay. Basically, we are gonna, and after that lecture, we are gonna go with the weather API, how to fetch an API and things like that. We're gonna go with that. Okay. So until next time, happy coding. Thank you. So hello and welcome back to our new lecture. So in this lecture we are going to fetch the API of our weather app. Okay. So before we delve into that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove the by default value so that we could see whether the data is getting fetched or not. Okay. Let's remove these things. Done. Anything else? No, nothing else. No. Okay. Great. Now what I'm going to do is just come to main activity over here, and I'm gonna create a server basically. Okay, so devices. So I'm gonna say package. I'm gonna say server package. I'm gonna say weather API. Weather API. Okay. Now over here, I'm gonna say extend I'm gonna say async, async task. I'm gonna say string void. Just click on this, implement methods, do in background. Now I'm gonna pass over here context. Then I'm gonna pass model. That is the, let's pass the attribute adapter. Okay, we'll do these things afterwards, no issues in this, but rather we will first check whether the APIs are working or not. Okay, so I'm gonna say make it a string because we're returning string over here. Okay, and I'm gonna say string result is equals to null. Then I'm gonna say URL. Then I'm gonna say HTTP connection, URL connection is equals to null. And then I'm gonna say try catch exception e. I'm gonna say URL is equals to new URL strings with the first element. URL connection is equals to HTTP connection URL dot open connection. Then input stream. And I'm gonna give this file in the resource section also. So if you don't want to type it, you could also copy this thing from a previous lecture on using task managers. Then int data is equals to reader dot read, and then I'm gonna say while data is not equals to -1. Then I'm gonna say char current is equals to cast certain char data result result is equals to current, and then I'm gonna say data is equals to reader dot read. Done. Return the result. And in catch I'm gonna say e dot print stack trace and return null. May do in background return. Okay. Now let's go this thing. Now over here, just press command in, go to override methods on post execute. Okay. I'm gonna say over here I'm getting a string, so string s, okay, and this pass is s over here. Once that is done, I think everything is done. So I'm just gonna say what's the error with this. It's saying string yeah, I need to return string again. Okay, great, it's done. Now what we are gonna do is just go to any browser over there. I'm just removing my more tabs. Search for weather API free. Let's see if you get something. Let's try this. So these all are basically not free, but you will get some request for free, like some 1000 I think request. You could make it easily. Just go to this current weather data in API documents. Okay, so we could call this by using a lat long. Then what else? I need to call it by name basically. Okay. So yeah, I need the city name. I'm gonna call it by city name. Let's see if you get. Okay, so this API which we wanted. Okay, so I'm just gonna sign in for now. I'm gonna create an account. I'm gonna say nifty 9. So let's first log in this, okay, and then I'm gonna come back again. Once everything is set, you will see something like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my API section. gonna say current weather data. Go to API docs. Over here, yeah. So I want this API basically. So just come down. So this is an example, okay. And these are all the data which we are gonna fetch. So here we have the lat long is there, main description is there, temperature, pressure, humidity, everything is there which we wanted to show it on our app. So just copy this thing. Let's see whether this API works or not. Just come over here, go to API key. I'm gonna copy my API key, and then we'll come over here, just paste it over this. Okay, so invalid API key. Okay, so it may take some time. So it will take some time definitely. Until then, we are gonna just start coding. Okay, it may say take some, like, it varies basically. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it may take 1 day. It basically varies, but you continuously check on this. Some of the other time it will basically work. So it's not an issue. Okay, so we are gonna, until then we are gonna code for this, how to fetch the data. Okay, so okay, I'll just come to the code. I'm gonna say JSON object, main JSON object is equals to new JSON object, pass this s. Okay, so why JSON object we are using? Because it's starting from an object, that is a curly braces. Okay, so that's the reason we are basically doing this. Okay, so what's an issue? Okay, surrounded by try and catch. I'm gonna say remove this thing, e dot print stack trace. If some error occurs, I'm gonna toast a message. So toast, I'm gonna say error occurred. Error. Okay, once that is done, I want to fetch the lat and long, that is these two values. Okay, so how to do it? So I'm gonna say JSON object, location JSON object is equals to main JSON object dot get JSON object. So this is the chord, so I'm gonna get my chord, that is this is a JSON object. So these two values I will be getting from this thing. So I'm gonna fetch it. I'm gonna say string, suppose lat and long is equals to, I'm gonna say lat space, I'm gonna say location object, JSON object dot get, what it is, it's integer I think. So I'm gonna say get integer, copy this thing list, lat, then I'm gonna say plus long location object dot get int, copy this thing. Yeah. Then what else I need? I basically need these two things I need. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this main thing, I'm gonna show it over here. Okay, instead of this cloudy, I'm gonna show it over here. And this description, I don't see a feel like attribute over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this description to show this text. Okay. Okay. So just copy this weather over here, because first we need to fetch the JSON array. So it's in JSON array. If you see, this is an array, so box is basically. So I'm gonna say JSON array. I'm gonna say weather JSON array is equals to main JSON array dot get JSON array. Now I'm gonna say JSON object, weather JSON object, weather JSON object is equals to weather JSON array dot get JSON object, position is 0, that is only one element is there, that is this element, only one element is there, so index 0. Okay. So and then I'm gonna say string weather string suppose is equals to weather JSON object, weather JSON object dot get string. Let's copy this main, that is key, and paste it over, and then I'm gonna say string description string is equals to weather JSON object dot get string. Come over here, copy this description key, paste it over here. So once that is done, what else we have done? So this data we have fetched, this data we have fetched, and lat long data we have fetched, that is this data. Okay. Now the next data that we are going to fetch is the temperature, that is this one. Okay, and pressure is also there, I think, in the same thing. So temperature is there, pressure is there, humidity is there, temp, max and min. So these all data we are going to fetch. So I'm going to say JSON object is equals to data JSON object, maybe let's give a name to it, main JSON object dot get JSON object. Copy this main, paste it over here. Now I'm going to say string temp string strng, wrap it into string dot value of data JSON object dot get int. Because it's an int, we are basically, because it's a value is an int, so basically we are wrapping it up. But if you notice this is in the form of Kelvin. Okay, so I need it in the form of Celsius. So I'm going to say whatever the value is, just minus with 273, I think, approximate, it's that only 273, and then plus space. Just come over here, just copy this degree sign. Okay. What's the issue? I'm just going to copy this degree sign, come over here, paste that, and say C. Once that is done, I think it's done. Do it. Okay, done. Now, similarly, just copy the same. I'm going to say over here pressure string. Pressure string, JSON.get object, so it's pressure. Paste it, remove this over here, and just type HPA. Once that is done, next is humidity. Copy this thing, it's in the form of percentage. Done. Now I'm gonna say string max and min temperature string is equals to max space string dot value of data json dot get in temperature max, paste it, put it in string, then minus 273 as it's in Kelvin, and just copy this thing, paste it over here. Also I need a next line after that, so I'm going to say next line, then just copy it till here and paste it over here. I'm going to say minimum, just come over here, temp minimum degree Celsius. Done. I think okay, everything is okay. Great. Now what else we need? So just come over here, what else we have? We have speed. Okay, so if you see, we have wind speed over here. Okay, so we have to fetch that data, that is this speed data. So I'm going to say JSON object wind JSON object is equals to main JSON object dot get JSON object wind. Yes, wind. Okay, great. Now I'm going to say string wind speed string is equals to main JSON, sorry, wind JSON object dot get string. It's in the form of string, or it's in integer. So get integer. Just copy this thing, paste it over here, plus this, and say km h. Okay, once that is done, I don't think I need to wrap this up in string because it's already in the form of string only. Okay. Now what else we have? Okay, sunrise and sunset we have. So if we come over here, we see a sunrise and sunset, but this is in the form of a long thing. Okay, so we need to convert it in the format of this time. Okay, so how to do it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say simple date format, and SDF is equals to new simple date format. I'm going to say in the pattern MMM GD comma HH local dot US. I'm going to say string date string is equals to SDF dot format new date main JSON dot get long. It's in the form of long. So before that we need the start also, that is the date. So what we have done is we have said give me the month name, then the date, and in the form of hour and minutes. Okay, so just copy this date dt and paste it over here. So I will get date string over here. Now I'm gonna fetch the sunrise and sunset. Okay, so for that again I need to basically go for JSON object. I need to give a name to it, so suppose this JSON object is equals to main JSON object dot get JSON object. SYS is the name, I think. Let's see. Okay, SYS. Okay, and from that we need the sunrise and the sunset. Okay. So once that is done, just I'm gonna say date is equals to new date, and then I'm gonna say this is JSON object dot get long. Just pass the value that is sunrise over here. Now I'm gonna say simple date format. Simple date format. Let's name this as sunrise SBF. The new simple date format. So it will be something like HMM. Okay. So I'm gonna say local dot get default. I'm gonna say this time. So it's in the form of H, MM, and A. That means it's sort of like this. Okay. Okay. I think everything is set. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say string sunrise string is equals to sunrise SCF dot format, and just pass the state. Done. I'm just gonna change it to sunrise state. Sunrise state. Okay. Now just copy this thing, paste it for the sunset. I'm gonna say sunset. Over here I'm gonna say sunset date, and this thing also I need to change, so just come over here, sunset, change it to sunset. Okay, great. I think everything is done. Now the last thing, that is the name I need to change for this thing. So is the name, this is the name. Directly we could access this. Okay. So what I'm gonna say is string, then place name is equals to main json.object dot format get string. Copy this thing, paste it, done. So we have fetched all the data. I think we have fetched all the data. So meanwhile what we do is we are gonna create a model. Okay, so we are gonna call it as weather model, so that these we are gonna basically paste the value what we have fetched in the text view level. Okay, so I'm gonna create a model, name it as weather model. Over here I'm gonna say private text view, place name text view. Then what else we have? Temperature is here, temperature text view. Then what we have, description is there, description text view, date and time is there. Then min and max text view is there. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have weather name is there. Okay, so come over here, I'm gonna say weather name text view. Great. Now once that is done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a constructor, and empty constructor I want to create. Then I'm gonna create one more constructor, select all, and do it. Great. So these values we're gonna pass from the main activity. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is next is I'm gonna say public void set place name, and then I'm gonna say string place name. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say get me this text view. I'm gonna set it to place name. Okay. So what we have done, we have passed the text view from the main activity, and then in the weather API we are gonna call this function, call this class, and we are gonna pass this name string what we have fetched over here. So this is the name place. We are gonna basically do it with that. Okay. So I'm gonna say public void. I'm gonna say set temperature, temperature string temperature. I'm gonna say temperature text view dot set temperature. Okay. Next, what we have public void set description text view. I'm gonna say string description text view dot remove this thing, set text description. Done. Let's copy this thing. I'm gonna say set date and time. Over here I'm going to say date and time, and here I'm going to change it to date and time. Again copy the string. I'm going to say set. What else we have? Min and max. Min and max. Min and max text view. The last one, I think this is weather name. Just remove L from here. Okay. Last is set weather name. Weather name. Weather name text view. Great. Well, that is done. Everything is set. So what we are going to do is next is we are going to initialize it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just come to main activity. Over here I'm going to say what I could say is let's create weather model. I'm going to say weather model is equals to new weather model. Before that I need to initialize all the text views over here. Okay, so just go to weather model, just copy this thing, this whole thing, come over here, paste it. Now I'm going to say find view by id on id dot place name, copy this thing, paste, copy this thing. Again, make sure the ID matches with whatever you're putting over here, otherwise the app will crash. Okay, once that is done, I'm going to pass all these things. So what is the first thing that I need to place? Start with place. Okay, so copy this place, then temperature, then description, then date, then min and max, and then comes the weather. Done. So once that is done, have a look on everything, whether everything is okay or not. Okay, now over here, now just come to weather API, and what I am going to do over here is just come to the top over here, and few things I need to basically do it. So I'm going to say weather model, and then I'm going to say attribute adapter, then array list. I need an array list. So I'm going to say attribute model. So why these two things? Because we need to set the data over here also. So we need to set the data over here, for which we are using the weather model, that is which we have created over here. Okay, and to set the data over here in the recycler view, we need the adapter and we need the list of that recycler view. Okay, once that is done, I think everything is done. Just create a constructor, select all, done. Now come over here, and now I'm gonna set the value. Okay, so I'm gonna say attribute model dot add. I'm gonna say get me. Okay, so it's not add. I'm gonna say get index 0, and then I'm gonna say set index 0 dot set value. Okay, so I need to create some getters and setters also. So just say command n setters. Come over here. I'm gonna say set value. So wind speed string. So the first is the wind speed, the second is the humidity, then pressure, lat long, sunrise and sunset. Okay. So the first elements are there. Okay, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over here I'm gonna say humidity string, then I'm gonna say pressure string, then I'm gonna say lat and long string, sunrise string, and sunset string. Okay. So these are the white values are basically which we have used up, and the gray are the which we have not used up. So I'm gonna say weather model dot I'm gonna say set weather name. So what is the weather name? I'm gonna say weather string. So over here if you press command and string, so this is the weather name string. So I'm passing the weather name over here as a string, and I'm putting it into the weather name. Okay, weather name text view, which we are basically passing it from the main activity from over here. Okay, so sort of like this. So just copy this thing, paste it. I'm gonna say set date and time, date string. Over here I'm gonna say set description string, then set temperature temp string, set place name, and the last is set min max. I'm gonna say maximum temperature. Okay. Once that is done, I'm gonna update the attribute adapter to on or not on. Let's notify data set change. Okay. So that the data gets updated, all the attributes are basically used. Great. Now come to main activity, and we need to initialize. We need to initialize this class. So I'm gonna say weather API is equals to new weather API. Pass the context. First is the context. Then I think it's the attribute adapter. Then it's the, let's see what else. It's the model first. It's the model. Come over here. Gonna say weather model, and the last is the array adapter. Now I'm gonna say weather API dot execute, and I'm gonna pass the string of that API. Okay. So just come over here. Now let's run it again to see whether this API works or not. Okay, now it's working. So see, after some time it will work. So I'm just gonna copy this thing and I'm gonna paste it over here. So by default, I'm gonna use every time when you will open the app, you're gonna go with London. Okay, data of London. Now once that is done, I think have a look on this. Now let's run the app. Okay, the app is basically crashing. Let's see what's here. Okay, so here it's saying int string length on a null object reference. Got it. So what we have to do is, I think we have not added the internet permission. So I'm gonna say user permission internet. Great. Once that is done, run the app again. Don't forget to add this. I usually forget to add that. Okay. Great. Data is coming. Okay. I think everything is nice. Okay, great. Data is coming, and we could see all the data over here from the API. So if we just see this API, so the name is London, and we have clouds. Description is overcast clouds. So you could see basically the same thing. Overcast cloud name is London clouds. Then what else we have? We have temperature of 291. So we are just subtracting it to 291 minus 273 sort of. So it's giving something like this. Okay, so it's working. So in the next lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to create the functionality of this search button, and also we are going to add a loading dialog for that. Okay, so see you in the next lecture. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to our new lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to first code for the loading dialog. So we have already created an XML code for this. So what we're going to do is just come over here, new package. I'm going to say dialog. Then I'm going to go with a new Java class. I'm going to say loading dialog. Loading dialog will be my same. Loading dialog, and then I'm going to basically say dialog loading dialog. Then context, I need context. Then constructor, just select on context. I don't need a dialog. I don't want to pass it, so I'm going to say public void show loading dialog. I'm going to say loading dialog is equals to new dialog, pass the context, done. Then I'm going to say loading dialog dot set content view r dot layout dot dialog loading. Then loading dialog dot get window dot set layout. Add the width, so I'm just going to say linear layout dot layout params dot wrap content. Similarly, just copy this thing. This also. No. Okay. Once that is done, I'm gonna say loading dialog dot set cancelable to false because loading dialog, so I can't cancel it until unless he wants to enter itself by code. So just get window if not equals to null. I'm gonna say loading. So I'm just gonna check if there is no other loading dialog. I'm gonna say get window dot set background drawable new color drawable 0. Okay, through which we are by this code we are not gonna see the parent layout basically. I'm gonna say try catch exception e dot print set trace, then loading dialog dot show. Okay, once that is done, one more I need to create for dismissing. dialog. So over here I'm going to say try catch. Exception E. So over here I'm going to say loading dialog dot dismiss e dot print stack please done. Now just come to main activity. Over here I'm going to say loading dialog, and then over here I'm going to say loading dialog is equals to new loading dialog, pass the context. Done. Now over here before calling this I'm going to say loading dialog dot show dialog, and also I'm going to pass it over here so that I could dismiss it. So add it over here, just copy this thing, paste it over here. Loading dialog is equals to loading dialog. Come over here, after all the data fetching I'm going to say dismiss it. If there is an error then also please dismiss it. Okay, done. So let's run the app and let's see whether this works or not. Okay, so it was occurring, if you could see, for a very minute time. See, it occurred, the data is so speed that we were not able to see it properly. Okay, no issues on that, it's working. Now I'm gonna create a search dialog, okay, which we have already created the dialog, dialog search. So we are gonna code for this thing, okay. So dialog only just come create a Java class, called it as search, please suppose search dialog would be nice, I think. Search dialog. Okay. Now what all things we need to pass? We need to pass the context. Then I need to pass the view, alert dialog, dialog, change it to alert dialog. Then the text input, edit text. Let's come to dialog search. Let's see what's the ID. That is place ID. Place ID. Then button. Press this button. What's the ID to it? There's no ID over here. I'm gonna say search button. Okay, search button. Just copy this thing. Paste it over here. What else? I'm gonna say loading dialog. Loading dialog. Then weather model. Need a weather model also so that I could update it. Attribute adapter I need. Then I also need an array list of attribute model array list. Now just command N constructor. I think I need all these things, so just press this. I don't need this text view and button. Rest all things I need. Apart from these things, I need all the things. Just okay. Once that is done, I'm gonna say public void start alert dialog dot builder. Builder is equals to new alert dialog builder. Pass the context, comma r dot style dot alert dialog theme. View 1 is equals to layout. Layout inflator dot from pass the context dot inflate r dot layout dot dialog search, comma constraint layout view, comma find view by id dot id dot. Let's come to this dialog search, constraint layout, copy this id, paste it over here. Okay, I think everything is set. Add one more and start. Now we have added a style, so this is the style over here. Okay, so make sure you add this over there. Okay, So what's the issue? Layout inflator is there from context dot inflate r dot layout dot layout. Okay, so I think the issue comes. Done. Now I'm gonna say builder dot set view. This pass the view, that is view1, and builder dot set cancelable to 2. I'm gonna say image view cancel, cancel only image view view1 dot find view by id r dot id dot, just come to dialog search over here, cancel image view. Place edit text is equals to text input edit text view1 dot find view by id r dot id dot, okay, and then search button view1 dot find view by id r dot id dot search button. Okay, once that is done, then say alert dialog is equals to builder dot create, and if alert dialog dot get window is not equal to null, I'm going to say alert dialog dot get window dot set background drawable new color drawable pass 0. Okay, what else? Just want to say try catch exception e dot print stack trace, and over here I'm gonna say alert dialog dot show. Okay, now so I'm gonna say cancel, that is the cancel image button, image view, and I'm gonna say set on click listener, new on click listener, and I'm gonna say alert dialog dot dismiss. When that is pressed, we're gonna dismiss. Otherwise, if the search button is pressed, then what we are gonna do is we are gonna say string place string, get the string from place edit text dot get text dot to string dot trim string. You're gonna check if it's not null, then we are gonna execute it. So I'm gonna say alert dialog dot dismiss, and I'm gonna say weather API. Okay, let's go to this main activity. Let's copy this thing. Come again to search dialog. Just paste it over here. Just pass the context. Done. And over here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say quote plus plus. I'm gonna say whatever the place string is, just paste it over here. Now else, if this place edit text is null, the string value is null, I'm gonna say place edit text dot set error fi fields cannot be empty. Done. Have a look on the. Okay, everything is done. Now just go to activity main over here. Just press this thing. On click is there. Just press that thing. Copy that. Come over here. I'm gonna say public void search place view. Now I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna pass all the values for which are necessary. So I'm gonna say search places, search dialog, search dialog is equals to new search dialog. Pass it. So I'm gonna say main activity dot this, that is the context. Then I need to pass the view. So view is this view, that is this view. What else? Then I'm gonna pass the loading dialog. Then weather model. Then attribute adapter. Then attribute model array list. Now what else is there? I think everything is done. So what's the error with this? Let's go to. Okay, I don't need this alert dialog. Remove this thing. Search button. Search button instead. I think it's not like this. Okay, once that is done, I'm gonna say search dialog dot show dot start. Okay, I think everything is done. Let's run the app and see whether this works or not. Okay, so by default London is there. Search on this. Okay, it's looking okay. I'm gonna say Delhi. Search. Okay, Delhi data I'm getting. Again, if I try to press this cancel, okay, it's getting cancel. If I just try to press this without putting anything, so it's showing field cannot be empty. If I just want to put random data and then press search, so the app is crashing. Okay, so what's the issue? Let's see how to resolve it. Let's see. Dot length, no, where it's crashing over here. Okay, so file not found exception. Okay, so what we could do is basically just come to main activity and just wrap it with try and catch over here. If ever there is some error, we don't want to talk about it. And then I'm gonna come over search dialog over here also, just say try and catch exception E. Done. If that place is not there, I don't know. Run this. So if you see the loading is there, just try to press anything. Search, the app is crashing again. Okay, I know what's the issue. I have used the app is crashing over here. Okay. Okay, I need to change this to exception. Now I think this will work. Okay. Just come to main activity, just remove these things. Search dialog again, just remove this thing again. So what our fault was that I was using JSON exception, but I need to use the exception so that it covers everything, but not just the JSON exception. Now I just put random stuff. Great, error is there. Now it's working. Great. So I think we are all set to go. I think our app is done. So congratulations on completing this Android app, where we have embarked on an exciting journey to build a weather app from scratch. Throughout the series, we have covered a wide range of topics, from designing the user interface using XML to coding the Java functionality, fetching real-time weather data, and displaying it to the user. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on what we have achieved and what lies ahead. So we have started by designing a clean and user-friendly interface using XML. We have learned how to structure layouts, incorporate UI elements, and create a visual appealing weather app. We delved into world of APIs, exploring how to connect a weather data API to fetch current weather condition, forecast, and more. This gave you insights into handling network requests in Android. You have gained the skills to parse JSON data from the API response and extract the relevant information needed to display weather details to the user. We have also discussed the best practices for creating a seamless user experience, including handling errors gratefully, providing user feedback, and optimizing app performance also. Bringing it all together, we have learned how to integrate the XML design with Java code to create a fully functional weather app. So, building a weather app in Android has been a rewarding experience, and I'm proud of the progress you have made throughout this course. Remember that learning Android development is an ongoing journey, and there is always more to explore and create. I encourage you to continue honing your skills, taking on new challenges, and building amazing Android apps. Thank you for joining us in this learning adventure, and I look forward to seeing you incredible apps you will create in the future as well. Stay curious, keep coding, and we will meet you in the next section. Thank you.